Hello, EEARTS family. I was sort of kind of ready, but I was planning to hand him back the thing, but he just looked at me until I said something.
Well, we just did a take one and then discovered it wasn't there.
Right.
So that's happened before.
Yeah.
So this time, I started OBS instead of using the hotkey. So I don't know. They know we're feeling the effects of all the energy coming in. We're kind of tired. We've had a long day. And so they're just going to make us do it all over again.
They are, because they love us so much.
Yes. And so we see Brits stunned as mystery bright lights appear in sky falling in different directions. There's video here. It's curious. Aidan McCartain said he saw lights in the early hours on Saturday, and we got video and we also have photos, and suspected they were aircraft displayed. The video showed the lights coming hurtling towards Earth. And you could see them here, just like streaking in all different directions. Almost remind me of some of those fireworks, where they kind of like go in all different directions, whizzing off. So, this is really interesting. He was stunned to see them as falling lights. They weren't any sort of aircraft. Was it meteors coming in? Or was it something else? It's very, very interesting. Now, even more interesting in some ways is we have this UK meteor. Fragments of fireball likely made land after hitting Earth at 30,000 miles an hour. Well, this one was bright. This one was super bright, and we have a video we're going to pull up on it. This happened after those shards. If they were shards, were they shards? Were they fragments of something? Were they fragments of this? Now, how would the fragments get in the atmosphere first? All these questions. It's a bright one. This is a bright one. And it just makes me think of like everything we see in the medieval art. The medieval art here, and some of these, date back to like 900 AD. Curious. You have obviously the crucifixion going on, and we see angels with their Merkaba wings. And then we see guys driving around in vehicles, ships. Now, these are not depictions of angels, because you got angels with wings, and these are using technology. And as we see right here, when we go on up, he looks like he's got his hand on a controller, another hand maybe pushing a button over here. Definitely something different than the angels. Very curious. What did they see? What did they see? What did they see in that sky? And how did they know to distinguish between angels and maybe something mechanical? And we see these old woodcuts with classic saucers in them. Again, this is going back a long time. Most of these are 800, 1,000 years old, even more. Painting of the Madonna with a UFO. And here you got a guy saying, hey, who is that? Is that Enlil up there? Is that Enki? Who's up there? Who is Marduk?
I know, and it was enough of a commonplace to spend time to put it in these old paintings. And it wasn't like it was quick to make these paintings either. People spent a lot of time on these. So it had to have made a big impression on somebody.
Well, clearly a depiction of a humanoid being in a ship. And we've talked about the Vedas and the Puranas, the old holy books of the Indus Valley people, speaking of 432,000 different humanoid species in the galaxy alone. That's a lot. And how did they know that? Why did they pick that number? I don't know. 432, a nice number. Let's just go with that. But, then at the same time, if you read into the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, these beings, they had technology and they flew around in ships, so, and then there's also the other thing, there's the light body as well. So there's different types of beings. And here we see, the devil basically getting control of the Catholic Church there, approaching the Pope. Meanwhile, we have a UFO up here beaming a beam of light down to Mary. And you have the Archangel Gabriel along with another priest. And this is the Annunciation, and we see the Holy Spirit as a dove, descending into Mary as she's going to give birth to Yeshua. And, here is again that other fresco there, and a UFO beaming down light. And again, this is again talking about conception. And this is a little close-up so you could see. Very, very interesting. What were these people thinking? Here you see the Pope, and there's a ton of flying saucers, in the sky. And, you got people that don't notice anything, but you got like one guy that's looking up over here. Wow, why does nobody else see the flying saucers?
Well, maybe that one guy is the town seer.
So getting back to the shape, to me, I agree. Cindy's the one that said, this reminds me of what we see in those medieval paintings when you see it just come in and then whoosh, it gets kind of roundish with a tail, kind of like a comet. And, you wonder, is this what they saw? Did they think there's got to be a guy in there flying this thing?
Well, you look at all those old paintings and people feel that it's just common knowledge that all these different beings are together and working together and, running into each other and stuff like that.
So, people saw this all over England, Northern Ireland, even over on the continent, they saw this one. Lots of sightings. And, pretty spectacular, pretty bright. And the thing that gets me is that they even describe it as you see all the sightings, slow moving. And whenever I hear that, I get curious. I'm like, okay, they're just, going slow, and then it's going to be, take me to warp speed.
Yeah, it's who knows, really.
Well, what's your impression on that one? You did think that one felt, again, it felt more entity than rock.
When I see these entities, I would say 90% of the time, to me, I feel a more human-like entity or energy inside of it, yes.
And by the way, is there anybody out there feeling foggy, feeling tired, feeling wiped out, feeling like you spent maybe an afternoon on the beach soaking up sun and you're just exhausted?
Or maybe talking with in-laws?
Aha. That could do it too. Depends on the in-laws. When we look at the KP index, we see a big spike there. So, we're up to a KP of 6. And our brother Mark over at Wages World went live with this and said, wow, that just came out of nowhere. And, there was increased activity for quite a while. We're like right at 4 for a pretty prolonged period of time. And then now we have this spike. So, when we're already have a weakened magnetosphere and we're in a magnetic pole reversal, grand solar minimum underway, we could definitely look for an increase in activity, both volcanic and quake.
Yes, and our dear sister Tina over in New Zealand, she's feeling it too. We're feeling it here, and this is obviously something that affects the human body greatly.
It does. So, I'm curious. Do you guys feel sluggish today? Do you feel like you just want to kind of go take a nap or just chill? Maybe having a hard time focusing. As we see, we still have ongoing activity up in Iceland. It's been, swarming over there pretty big time. There's some quakes that I know they don't have to be, like, Oklahoma here. Last time I checked, I think there was about 18 of them in Oklahoma. This is all fracking, and again, it doesn't matter if they stopped fracking, they fracked the crap out of it. I hate it when they do that freaking fracking.
I know, it's horrible.
And I've seen a bunch of these developing. This is a 3.4 right here, Stonewall Gap, Colorado, just south of there. This is plastered with fracking wells. Plastered. And again, this would have been one of my top choices for safe zones. But with all the fracking, and then, obviously, I think it's not good for the water supply.
No, it's horrible for the water supply, but they do it for the bottom line.
And then down over here by El Paso, too, we have a 3.1, 54 kilometers south of White City in New Mexico. We've seen more quakes right pretty much on top of Vegas, as you have a 2.0 there. And, Vegas is capable of getting up to around the 7. There are faults there, and that could be happening. I'm wondering now, are we starting to see a shift? Because there's been periodically days where we have like nothing really happening west of Tonopah over here. And, that's been a busy swarming area for over a year now. Same thing with China Lake, Mammoth Lake as well. We see over by Boise, it's swarming there too. I wonder if your brothers noticed any of those. And then, this is the way that the magma kind of flows up into Yellowstone. So we can see a lot of activity up through there as well. It's pretty active today. Lots going on in California. There's Natsaya, our brother, who watches and monitors all this on a daily basis, very intently, around the clock.
Yes, we're very grateful. Thank you, Natsaya.
Yes, we love you, brother. And jumping over here, we have a lot of things going on, and we have a house at the bottom of Dabu's Road. Looks like there's an ocean out there. This is in Kentucky.
Oh, that would be just terrible to look out your window and see that at the end of your road.
Yeah, bad situation going on. Kentucky's a beautiful area. It's a great place to homestead and farm, and obviously known for its horses, which Cindy loves horses.
Love the ponies.
She does. High water rescues after flash floods in Kentucky, 5 inches or more in 24 hours. It could make for a deadly combo. You're going to see impassable roads. I wouldn't be surprised if some bridges that get washed away. And so major flooding stage has been broached, and it's the second highest crest on record.
That's just crazy. There you go.
Yes. But, you think about all the energies coming in and even cloud nucleation. And we see New South Wales, Australia, just suffered its coldest summer in a decade, setting records, not just Facebook giving Australia the cold shoulder in the southern hemisphere, according to data from the Bureau of Meteorology.
That was kind of cute.
It was. So they got a cold summer going on down there. And they also have to keep an eye on this tropical storm that's developing near the coast of Queensland.
Yeah, we got this going on too.
And, this is just not good.
Disturbing to say the least.
Yes, I would say so. A study finds the fitness levels of former Plague Upon the Land patients that were 45 years old is very similar to 80-year-olds.
I know, and when we're looking at these days, like this 35 or the 45 is the new 35, because people, it's almost like we were starting to look younger and younger. But now that this has happened, look.
Yeah,
I know, it's just so crazy. But this is kind of what we sort of expected, is that they're going to pull some things like this and make it kind of difficult to bounce back if you have a lot of like underlying issues.
Because what we've actually got from the guides is that life expectancy, if everything was natural right now, would be going through the roof. Yeah,
we would be more like 120, 130 right now.
Yeah, so somebody being born now would be able to expect a lifespan of at least that. Now, we don't need the technology, although that's what they're going to sell us, of course, because it would be happening organically.
It would be. And, we want everything to happen organically, so we're not limited.
Exactly. So, guys, thanks for being part of the family. Make sure you are subscribed and have the bell clicked. Thanks for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon, because we couldn't do it without you. If you need to set up an appointment, reach out to us at evolutionaryenergyarts@gmail.com or EEARTS@protonmail.com. And Cindy's going to give us a ding.
God bless and namaste.
God bless, guys. Namaste.